Finally got my hands on the new 2018 MacBook Pro. I'm probably the last tech reviewer to unbox this. Unfortunately, in the UK, this is actually the first day this thing got delivered, and it's not available in the store yet. So yeah, and Apple doesn't love me enough to send me a review unit, so that's why. So this is my new 2018 13-inch MacBook Pro, and I've also ordered the 15-inch model, which would arrive at some point next week, hopefully. And the 13-inch, by the way, has some very big improvements over the previous 2017 model. We now get quad-core processors from dual-core. We also get faster storage, a T2 controller chip, also always-on Siri. We get True Tone display, we get a bigger battery, better speakers, and so much more. So I've actually done a 20 things you didn't know video about all the 2018 MacBooks, so the 13 and the 15-inch, with all the changes. So if you want to know more about those MacBooks, definitely check out this video. But in this video, I'll be unboxing and taking a look at the new 2018 13-inch MacBook Pro's unboxing and my quick initial review. So get those snacks ready, get that popcorn or nuts or milk, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, so all MacBook Pros initially come in this brown shipping box. And once we open this, which by the way is just a matter of pulling this tab, we get to the actual MacBook Pro box. And this one is very similar to the 2017 and 2016 boxes, it's just smaller since, you know, this is my 13-inch MacBook Pro instead of the 15-inch one. And fun fact, my first Mac was actually a 2011 13-inch MacBook Pro. Before then, I actually had two Hackintoshes, but that was my first Mac. And then in 2013, I've upgraded to the 15-inch model, and I've never had a 13-inch MacBook since then. I mean, I've had a few that I showed you guys in the videos, but I haven't really used them as my main device. That's what I'm talking about. So on the box, we get an image on the front of the MacBook Pro with a touch bar, and then we get Apple logo on the left and right hand sides, and MacBook Pro branding on the top and the bottom. And finally, on the back, we get a listing of all the specs. So mine's literally the entry-level model with a 2.3 GHz quad-core processor, i5, Coffee Lake, 8th generation, 8 GB of RAM, and 256 GB of storage. This is literally, yeah, the first one that was available. If I ordered the 1 TB model, that would have arrived about 2 weeks later. Okay, so now let's cut the seal and lift up the top of the box. And there you go. This thing is so small, by the way, wow. And so light compared to my 15-inch model. So I'm going to put it to the side for just a few seconds, and let's take a look at what else we get inside. And the first thing that we get is this booklet designed by Apple in California, as usual. And inside that, we get this quick start manual with a few tips and tricks. And then we get a warranty and a safety guide. And finally, we get a pair of Apple stickers, which unlike the 12-inch MacBook ones, by the way, they do not match the color of your MacBook. So these are actually white instead of space gray because, you know, Apple loves consistency and attention to detail. And Apple, if you're watching this video for a really low entry-level salary of $10 million, I would fix all of your consistency issues. So hire me, I wouldn't mind. We then get the power adapter, which has been interiorly redesigned, by the way, with this new MacBook. And then we also get the power adapter head, as well as a USB-C to USB cable for charging your MacBook. And that's everything we get inside the box. Okay, so now let me just remove the plastic wrap. That's basically music to my ears. Now let's open up the lid, and the MacBook automatically powers itself on. Okay, so I've been using this new MacBook Pro for a few hours now, and these are my actual first impressions. So obviously the first thing that I've had to try was the keyboard. Is it actually improved? And I have to say, it feels so much better than before. I can type much faster on this thing. You sort of get this chiclet feel on it, basically like the pre-2016 MacBook Pros, which I really like, and it's also much quieter than before. So yeah, honestly, first impressions with a keyboard, there is an improvement, quite a big one, and I do love it. That's, you know, until it's gonna fail and break a few days from today. Hopefully not. So Apple has actually implemented the patent that I was mentioning in my MacBook Pro 2018 leaked video. They've actually implemented that, so it actually comes with a rubber seal so that dust and dirt doesn't get inside the actual key switch. So hopefully it should last longer. We'll see in a few days. And then the speakers are also insanely loud on the 13-inch MacBook Pro. Now my 2017 15-inch is obviously louder, but I'm quite curious to see how the 2017 15-inch compares to the 2018 15-inch in terms of the speakers, because Apple has actually redesigned the speakers to make them louder and overall better. And then speaking of better, the display also got a small improvement to make it better. So we have a True Tone display, which is nice. Probably the best part about this is that if you have an LG ultrafine 5K monitor, it would also translate to that. But is it actually worth buying just for that True Tone display? No. In case you don't know what a True Tone display does, it essentially adjusts the color temperature of the display so that it matches the ambient temperature in your room. So if you have yellow lights, the display would be yellow. If you have white lights, the display would be white. So yeah, it is pretty cool. And also it's easier on the eyes. However, if you're doing photo editing and video editing, you want to have that feature obviously disabled. Some apps do support this automatically, like Final Cut, but Photoshop and some other third-party ones, they need to be updated to, automatically disable the True Tone display. But probably the main reason that this is kind of worth it is the performance. So you now get quad-core processors with a 13-inch MacBook Pro as well, which is awesome. And then a 15-inch MacBook Pro has been updated to 6-core processors. This is not thanks to Apple, by the way, it's thanks to Intel and their 8th generation processor. So Apple didn't really do anything when it comes to this. But essentially, even the performance of the baseline 2018 13-inch MacBook Pro with a touch bar with the i7 processor is very, very close in performance to my 2017 15-inch MacBook Pro with a quad-core 2.9 GHz i7 processor, which is absolutely insane. So we finally get the same performance of the 15-inch MacBook Pro, just a much, much smaller and lighter form factor. When it comes to the processor, something that's actually unique to Apple and this new MacBook is the brand new T2 chip. So this is a co-processor that was designed by Apple. This is a co-processor to the main Intel chip. And the chip basically handles the flash storage, the drive encryption, the microphone, the speakers, camera, and so much more. So overall, the system will actually feel much faster than just using the Intel chip, because the Intel chip doesn't have to do all of those background tasks. So Hey Cindy, by the way, is also supported. I'm not going to say the word, but yeah, Hey Cindy is supported. Now, before the 2018 models, if you had an encrypted drive, that would have actually been slower than a non-encrypted drive. But now, thanks to the T2 processor, we get significantly faster read and write speeds, mostly write speeds, than the previous models, which is awesome. Okay, so in the end, what do I overall think of the new 2018 13-inch MacBook Pro? Well, performance-wise, it's a very big upgrade from the 2017 model, and we also got a ton of small but big changes as well. So the keyboard improvements, the better speakers, the True Tone display, the Siri always on, the T2 chip, faster storage, and much more. However, if you're a video editor or someone who works with 3D graphics and modeling, keep in mind that a 13-inch doesn't come with a dedicated GPU, which means that the 15-inch is still significantly more powerful in terms of the graphics. So if you game on your MacBook, if you do video editing again, or 3D modeling, or anything that requires a powerful GPU, then you need to get the 15-inch model, or an eGPU, an external GPU, which I'll make a video on very soon. But if you don't care about that, if you don't care about graphics, the 13-inch is still amazing for any other tasks, and even video editing. It's not impossible to video edit on it. So you can actually edit 4K video on this thing. It's just slower when it comes to exports and playback compared to the 15-inch model. But yeah, other than that, it's honestly a great machine. It's quite a bit on the expensive side. But if you use all the functionality to its max, including the 40 gigabit per second Thunderbolt 3 ports, which is awesome because you can connect a 5K display, you can connect, Thunderbolt drives and get a really, really fast storage. Well, in that case, you'll absolutely love this thing. So there you go. This was my unboxing and quick review of the new 2018 13-inch MacBook Pro. Definitely stay tuned for my full in-depth review because that's coming hopefully next week or 2 weeks from today. I just want to spend more time with this and test out the battery and the overall performance, thermal throttling, all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be pretty detailed. Stay tuned for that. Definitely subscribe for that video and more detailed tech videos like this one, and notifications by tapping on that bell so that you get notified whenever a new video comes out. Also, feel free to give it a like if you enjoyed it, let me know. But yes, that's been pretty much it. Thank you all for making it until the end. I'm Daniel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Son of Tech, signing out. Cheers.